What's good, everybody? James Jackson here, back again with another video. This is some exciting news today. Today we finally got some footages of the latest camera from Kienfinity, which is Mavo S35 Mark II. So this is their latest entry-level camera. We've been waiting for it. Now the camera's supposed to start shipping June 5th. So I wanted to get this out. I've tried to do this before. Something happened with audio, so I apologize for a little bit of delay of doing this video. And also, I've been trying to show off the beta version of Dehancer, and I'll get into why of it later. But I've been having issues with the beta; it's not seeming to work, and so I'm just using the current version of Dehancer. But this is right here. We got the Mavo S35, and as you can see, this thing looks incredible. As you can see here, this thing, right now, this is like, it looks pretty good. It looks solid. Right now, I'll go into sort of my color management, so explain. So right now, I'm in DaVinci UI RGB Manage, and I'm using HDR DaVinci UI Gamut Intermediate, and I've right now set this to Rec 709 Scene. And it will make sense why later, but just right now, just looking at this, this to me looks like the level of detail just from the Kitty log format. The amount of detail on this is actually pretty incredible. So this is actually the 6K open gate option. And now the reason why it doesn't look like, okay, because it's actually, from what I could gather, the lens that they used on this is actually an anamorphic lens. If I reset the transformation, you can see that it doesn't appear to be right, because it's really, because again, this appears to be an anamorphic lens, even though they didn't. By the way, these are all free samples. You can get this directly from Kinefinity. You can get this directly from their website and download it if you want to. So today, let's just do some quick grades and do some test footages and see what we can do with these test footages. So I'm going to start with this one, because this one is the one that we got a clear face in. So I've already made some adjustments because I felt like this was a bit too green to my liking. So so in this first one, I kind of just did some offset where I pulled out some reds and I pulled out some of the greens. And then here I basically brought down the exposure. The exposure was a little hot, so I brought down the exposure, and I also brought down the highlights and the highlights, specular, and the light formats. So just so to understand. So when you're dealing with Kienfinity, one of the things is you can basically just treat it like it's an RE camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just treat it basically like an RE camera. I'm going to RE wide gamut 3, RE log 3C. And because it's DaVinci wide gamut, I'm going to turn this to DaVinci wide gamut intermediate. And then this last one, I'm going to use DaVinci wide gamut and DaVinci wide intermediate, and then I'm going to go to Rec 709, and then I'm going to go to Gamma 2.4. And look at this footage. And I gotta say, look at this footage right here. This is it's actually pretty incredible. And if we look at our scopes, yeah, we got some highlights that are just below the clipping, but right now, you can see nothing is clipped on the waveforms. Everything is there, even with these lights that go through. It's like just hitting the clip form, but as you can see, all this information is here. And I bring up DaVinci wide gamut because of Dehancer. Now, if you're not familiar with Dehancer, I've talked about it many times on my channel. It is probably my favorite plugin to date, but I want to just show you Dehancer anyway, because one, I want you to get to see how it'll look like with the Mavo Edge, but also there's only a few days left before the price of their packages go up. Starting June 1st, they will raise the price. So if you guys when I do this and you guys like Dehancer, definitely I would say go check them out. And if you want to, you can go ahead, use my link. If you use my coupon link and my coupon code in the description, which I will leave there, you can get 10% off your purchase. So not only you will get it while the price is still low, you'll get an additional 10% off as well. But let's go ahead and drop in Dehancer 6.3. And let's turn this off right now so we can just see all this stuff off so we can sort of see what we're doing. And that should be it. So the thing with Dehancer, and the way I like, this is now my new favorite workflow. With Dehancer, I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this to DaVinci Wide Gamut in immediate. It works really well this way. So I'm going to go ahead and enable this. And I'm going to pick another one. I really like Kodak Aerial Color, which is right here. I really love this. It gives a nice contrast, and as you can see already, this is actually pretty dope in terms of contrast, in terms of what it's doing, giving a little bit more of that film look. We got this page right here, which is the film developer, and essentially it's kind of similar. This is basically kind of like doing some of the things here where the contrast boost, it does like contrast, the gamma correction, which is the pivot. You got color separation, and then you got the color boost, which is like right here. So if I was to say, hey, I kind of want to bring down the contrast a little bit, but I want to pull everything down a little bit more so it still is, but just not as contrasty, we could do that. So you can see before, after, before, just give a little bit less contrast. And then there's film compression, which I like here, which basically it's like as you go up to I've talked about film compression in another video. I'll leave a link in as well as in the description. But essentially what this does is it basically mutes the highlights as you get closer to the clipping point. And you can decide how much of that you're going to affect. And now I'm going to add a Kodak, the film print Kodak Endura Glossy. And let me enable that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the exposure up a little. But you could, and it just adds a nice little additional smooth contrast. And then I'm just going to add a vignette just to run this off, which is right here. And I like the default of the vignette, just to smoothen out those highlights. So, and as you can see right here, and by the way, this is again the 6K footage. It's playing back pretty well. This is ProRes 12-bit 444. This is looking incredible, just how much you can do. And just look how, like, even in the shadows, how like much you get to play in terms of there's so much depth in the textures and tonalities of this set. So now we're going to just do the same thing here. We're going to apply that. I'm going to turn these off because this is not necessarily needed, but actually I'm going to leave that on. So, and then we'll see the diff, and let's play this here. A little bit hiccup again, but that's more of the Dehancer. But look how great this looks. And then I can, again, in Dehancer, I can raise the exposure a little bit. I can raise the white point up a little, raise the black point up a little. Oh, I turned it off. So I'm gonna reset this. Let's raise the white point up. Let's raise the white point up a little, just to have a nice little bit of contrast. But look at this. And we got, and all the colors are nothing's breaking. This looks incredible to my eye. I don't know about you guys, but I really love the footage that you're able to cause and seeing, like, this is such great details. And then we got here, this will be a good test, but I'm gonna turn the vignette off on this one. So, which is right here. So I'm gonna just turn the vignette off. But look at as it goes from highlights to shadows, and look how it goes. Like, look at, there's just so much clean textures with this image. The image is just incredible. And then I'll just apply this last one right here as well, so you can see. And I really do enjoy the look of this, just like the textures. And again, you got all this depth and information. Really well done. But let me know what you guys think of this Mavo S35 Mark II footage. Are you impressed with this? Let me know. Leave your comments below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.